Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be working on constructing this Automata Box. You can see here in our drawing that the box we're creating is quite simple. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total parts. There's several different ways to do this, way more than one workflow that'll make this happen, but I'm going to show you one that I find pretty simple and easy to create. I'm going to go ahead and create a new document. We're going to call it Automata. And going to get that document started. We'll be in a new clean part studio when we get started, and we're going to start by creating a sketch on the front work plane. And I'm actually going to demonstrate a method that I figured out how to do this in one sketch. So we're going to create a center point rectangle, and we're going to make that rectangle 5 inches wide by 4 and 3/16 thick, so or tall. Now, the important thing to recognize is that you can type fractions into your dimension box just by using the division bar on your keyboard, and if it's a mixed number, just put a plus sign between the numbers, and there you have it. There you go. Let's turn my planes off by tapping the letter P, and I'm going to turn that origin off because that kind of irritates me. And so now here we have the outline of the box. And you can see this is the front view that I'm working on, so it's 5 inches wide, 4 and 3/16 tall. I'm going to go ahead and draw these edges of the box, the sides and the top. Notice here that our note says that all parts are 3/16 of an inch thick. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw those. So across here. One down here, one down here. Oops. Make sure you're seeing those perpendicular or vertical and horizontal constraints. If you go to put a dimension on your product and it gives you an angular measurement, then you missed that constraint. So here we go. This is the shape that we want. Just like that. So this top board is the longest, the bottom board is the shortest, and the side boards are the mediumest. We're going to go ahead and apply the dimension to it now. Either tap the D key on your keyboard or go up and hit the dimension. Well, remember we're dimensioning between two lines, so you click both lines that you would like to dimension the distance between. And it's 3/16 thick and 3/16 thick. This will be a great use for variables, and in this program you do have the ability to do that. We'll set that up in another video sometime, because then we could, since all of these dimensions are the same, we could clearly and easily use that variable. But let's call that all parts and finish that sketch. So here we have the top, the left side, the right side, the back, and the bottom. Let's go ahead and turn that into a 3D object. Looking at our drawing again, the sides are 3.5 inches thick, so that means that the sides and the bottom will extrude 3.5 inches. So let's go ahead and extrude that bottom first, a distance of 3.5 inches. And we'll call that bottom. That'll create our first part, which we'll call bottom. And there you have it. Of course, where the heck did my sketch go? Well, to get my sketch back, just hit the little eyeball button here. And that turns the sketch back on for us to see. And let's go ahead and get the sides. So there's one side, the other side, and those are going to be new parts, which we'll call sides. And as far as how far we're going to extrude those, we want to extrude them up until it lines up with the front end. Now we can type in 3.5 because we know that's what it is, or we can build a more robust model by saying, hey, I'm going to go up to that face, which is right there. And then those sides solid. So now if I want to make a change to the thickness of this for any reason, all I have to do is change it in the bottom, say 6 inches, and the whole model would update. So that's a really good system for doing that. And you'll see that in this demonstration, I'm trying to show you some methods to create some dependency, so that you don't have to, if you need to make changes to your design, it's easier. All right, so let's see, what do we got next? We're going to go ahead and make the back. The back is going to be, according to our drawing, the back goes, it's the full height from the top of the side down to the bottom. The lid, or the top, overlaps the back, and you can see it extends all the way out to the side. So let's go in here. So we're going to include everything except this upper rectangle in our back extrusion. So we're going to hit the extrude button, and we'll grab, I've discovered that grabbing the skinny rectangles first, and then grab that. And of course you can see that my direction arrow is pushing it into the material, so I'm going to flip that by clicking the direction arrow the other direction. And as the note told us, all parts are 3/16. That includes the back. And let's go all the way to the back. And you can see I've created a bunch of new parts here, and holy cow, I forgot to name them all, so let's see what the heck are they. Let's see, this part, click on it. Oh, that's my right side, so right click, rename, right side. It's important that you name your parts, because when we go to do the drawings and assemblies, you'll want to be able to differentiate between parts. And these parts are really similar to each other, so you're not necessarily going to be able to identify quickly visually which ones are correct. Left side, oops, and that makes this the back. All right, last thing to do is put the top on it. And this one we're going to pull out a new trick out of our bag of tricks that we haven't used much before. We're going to pull this rectangle in 2 directions at the same time, and that's a really neat feature in your extrude function. So that's going to be top. And so we're going to choose the second end position button, which will allow us to draw in 2 directions at the same time. And we don't necessarily have to make them symmetric. We can make them go in either direction. So we're going to go up to face just like we did before. So we're going to make that first end position go up to there. And we'll make the second end position go to here. And don't be surprised, don't freak out if you don't see anything happen right away. You have to choose both of them before you get anything. If this is unselected, if you didn't select the back, the whole thing disappears. So you have to have both sides selected before it actually shows up. So there you go. Turn off my sketch so that I can see it. And there we have. There's our box. We'll add the holes in the next video. Don't forget to rename your parts. And as always, keep being awesome.